We got Tiger T, right?
Of course.
Untitled, unfocused. Tyler, Raymond over there furiously typing,
Yeah,
trying to
just
find out
the
all of
answer to
life's
Python,
mysteries.
of course. Hold on,
Um,
just one moment.
you over there helping someone cheat, Ray? Is that what you're doing? Oh, he left. He's gone, and it's over. Ray left the chat. Ray's left the chat. Well, while Ray is gone, um, what are we doing today, man? I gotta remember. We're doing Lord of the Flies book, good book, classic book. It is very short too. Not something Usually these classic books I always imagine to be very long. Like 500, 600 pages. Not like Harry Potter. Harry Potter's like I forget which book. Which Harry Potter book was the biggest one? Wasn't like Goblet the biggest one?
I
I
can look
think.
right now on my shelf. It is book 5.
Which one is five? Is that
That
Goblet?
is the Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix? Yeah. Because I
Because
remember
I have all 7 of them right there. I can see them all in paperback,
I
looking at me.
remember reading them. I remember like a couple of them are like really big, and I know like one of them is like ridiculously big. It's like 1,000 pages or something.
Yeah, book 5 is really big for no reason.
Or the
Um,
Phoenix, it's like there's like different covers, but I know the one I had was like the dark blue one.
yeah. So like I have all of them paperback, so I can look right now. Like
Okay.
1 is like a gold, like a
Yeah.
brown gold. Like
Mm,
2 is like a green. 3 is like a red. 4 is like a green and purple. 5 is like the blue silver. 6 is the green gold again. So it's like an orange gold.
yeah. Um. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying. So Lord of the Flies is like super short. It's like
It's
270
200
pages.
pages. Yeah, it's like nothing really.
Yeah. Um. Classic. So Ray, would you know about this book like going into it?
I actually knew everything about this book going in. It actually hurts. Like reading
Yeah.
this book. I will say the book goes obviously into more detail than what you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like the sad thing is like even though I haven't read the book before, I knew everything going into the book of what it was gonna happen. Just because it's been iterated so much.
Yeah, I remember last time you said something like, "Kid, like you gave like a two sentence." I think you looked it up, right? You looked it up on like Goodreads or something,
I looked up
like a
on
really quick.
laconic TV tropes is what I did.
Oh, okay, okay. It was
So
like,
let
oh,
me let me pull that back up again. So TV tropes.
it was like kids get stranded on an island and then they form a government and then they kill each
A
other or
group of young
something.
boys try to form a civilization on a deserted island. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And get the conch and speak here.
Newsflash, it doesn't work. Um, Let me pull up. Okay, so I don't even know where to start.
Mhm,
Um, I liked I liked how they just kind of threw you into it, right?
mhm.
In the beginning, there's no like we don't see them at school. We don't even know what kind of trip they're supposed to be on. We're just they're just on the island. They crashed. There are a bunch of kids there. We don't know what's going on. Um, thought that was cool to not have to give like a whole prologue to everything because they could have very easily done that and then made you like sympathize with these characters a little more, but they didn't. Um,
I'm just going over like through the TV tropes page to see what they're saying about the craziness of it. Yeah, just to remind, it's a lot of crazy stuff that happens here.
mhm. How do you feel about the ending?
I actually like the ending, honestly.
Yeah, why is that?
It looks back in like a weird way. Like they get found by the military man. Was it a Navy man?
Yeah.
Okay, get found by like the Navy man, and essentially like he looks at them and he's like, "Yo, these guys are monstrous." And he looks to himself and he looks at the ship and he's like, "But are we any like?" You can get the idea that he's like, "Are we any different, really?"
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably like if he's got to feel some empathy, right? Of like, oh, if I was here, I didn't know anything. I mean, obviously, again, he's like a Navy officer. He has more
Mm-hmm.
experience and probably living off of of something like this, like the training he goes through and whatever. But like, It's like, oh, this can really mess you up living on your own, not knowing, not really like no one there has any skills. They're just kids, you know. Um, and just do we know how long they were there for? Does it give any sense of time?
It may have been like almost a month at tops.
A month, yeah. Dude, there's something else with time, and I'll get to it at the end of the week with the
Mhm.
anime. But I think I wrote it down. It was some like
Anyway,
uh
Roger is just a savage, just a pure savage, is what Roger is.
uh which one was Roger?
The one who kills Piggy,
Oh
drops the boulder
yes,
right on him.
yeah, that was nuts. Yeah, there was a lot of really gruesome deaths in this book.
I looked more into this, and apparently this book is supposed to be like originally it was written as a parody of other like popular things of other popular literature at the time.
Oh
So
really?
like Lord of the Flies was written as a parody for other like adventure quote unquote novels where kids get stranded on islands and it's a paradise and they like teach the villagers things when they're on there
Mm,
and like they go through that. So it's like pushing like Western civilization is what it really did. Um, so it's a parody of that, except in this case, there's no natives here on this island. The island itself is its own entity and threat, and
mm-hmm.
they're becoming gruesomer and gruesomer as it goes on, instead of being like heroes.
Yeah, because everyone there kind of sucks,
It's
you know.
based on like let me see. So like there's one novel specifically it's based on, and it's so Lord of the Flies based on which one? Influence. Is it actually gonna be like what's it based on? It's based on something.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense that it was a parody though, because you said how, they don't really become heroes. They don't
Coral
ever.
Island is what it's based on. The Coral
Okay.
Island from 1857.
Because like, yeah, they don't band together. They don't become heroes. Like there are a few moments here and there where they start to form bonds, and there's some hope, but most of the group just doesn't want to do anything. And then the more higher ups, the ones that make more decisions, they're just very selfish,
Mhm. I
and
shouldn't say parody because like everyone like it's saying like it's more of an allegory. So like a more
allegory.
realistic standpoint of what would
Okay,
actually happen.
so it's like
Or
taking
it's
other
still a
stuff.
parody though. It's still it's still like hey look at all these guys writing these fantastic stories. Let me show you how it actually go down.
Yeah, how it actually happened. Um, I saw some. I read a couple things of it too, just some people talking about it or whatever, and someone talked about how the ending is very ironic, about how the reason that the naval officer was able to find them was because of the fire, right? Because of smoke or whatever
Mhm,
that was burning, and it was ironic because um the fire that signaled people to find them, it wasn't the original fire that the main dude, I don't remember his name,
so
was.
Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph was trying to do, he was very on that the whole time. He was like, everyone, we need two people. Their job is to keep a fire going at all times, the smoke, all that. They put like leaves on it or something to
Hmm.
actually make
Yeah, just to
smoke.
keep it like keep the smoke happening. So like you get a smoke signal, people will see it
Yeah.
eventually.
But
And like
it's funny because at the end of the day, it wasn't that fire at all. It was a random fire, very very much active aggression, and
mhm,
its purpose wasn't to signal anyone. It was to kill him and to
mhm,
burn the island down. So it's just like he was trying the whole time to keep this peace between everyone, where in the end it didn't matter at all. You know, which is funny because that's what you'd imagine a leader would try to do, right? That's the whole point. Even if you would read other books or watch certain TV shows or whatever, there's always that one dude trying to keep the peace. It always works out for them. Um, going back to it being realistic and all. It's like no, people then form an anti-group and then they're like kind of weirdly like a cult, and they think they know what's going on when they don't. I mean, I guess no one really does, but yeah,
yeah, it's just harsh, dude.
it's tough. Yeah.
This book is
Who was the other one they killed? They killed Simon, right? Wasn't that his name? When
not sure.
they were
I
like,
think it is Simon. Yeah, it is Simon. Yeah,
they
they
were like,
thought he was the beast.
yeah, and they got a little too overzealous. They just murdered him.
Roger really is like crazy. Let's be honest. He's like,
Mhm.
I think I can kill a man.
Well, that was the plan, right? Kill
Roger
him
really. They're all like 12-year-olds, right? Like this is like, well, like
and younger.
at tops, tops,
Yeah.
12
Hmm.
tops. Okay, Roger's like a bloodthirsty. He's the one that's gonna be grow up to be like the school shooter.
Yeah. Well, he's already murdered someone, so he has experience.
When was this written? Let me check that real quick.
It was really old. I think it's like 1800s, like early.
1954.
Oh, then what did I see then?
1857 is when the youth novel started. The one I told you, Coral Island, that was based on.
Okay, that must have been what
Hmm.
I saw then. Yeah, I remember
So
seeing like 1850 something.
yeah,
Um, Another thing, right? The whole like world building stuff, right? At the very beginning, I don't know if you remember or if you caught it,
it's a
but
nuclear war,
they
nuclear out.
mentioned an atom bomb and stuff, and I thought that was cool.
Yep.
Uh,
No, it's like it's the subtle things, like so like even if they were, imagine if they did get saved, okay?
hmm
Like what world would they be going back to? A world that's like destroyed and like in ruin, you know what I mean? And the world would be so much different than what they actually have here.
and like, where were they going? Like what was the purpose of them all
Mhm. They're
leaving?
all on an airplane, like where were they going to? We don't know.
And it had to be purposeful wherever they were going. It wasn't just a random trip. It was all
It was just
kids,
children, yeah.
and they weren't from like the same school
No,
because
there was like different people on there, like
yeah,
different
yeah,
groups. Because they had
yeah,
the
because
choir as well, which is like where Roger is
hmm
from, and Jack. So
um was that snake ever real? That young boy saw? W- We never actually saw a snake, did
I
we?
don't know if the snake was real. We all know about the beast. The beast is something that's
Yeah, the
brought up often.
beast, which also wasn't real.
Yeah, we have the dead pilot as well, who is the
Yeah,
beast. So
yeah, because it was just the shadow of the
the
of the
pilot,
pilot
yeah.
coming out. Um, that was another cool thing too. There, how with the whole like importance of the shell.
Mhm.
I'm trying to, or like halfway through the book, they needed to corral everyone again. Everyone doesn't really care. They're all doing their own thing. I mean, half of them are like very young kids. You can't really expect them to stay focused all the time. But I forget who it was, but someone wanted Ralph to just blow the conch shell, get everyone here. But he refused to do it because like it was worth it at the time. It didn't warrant the shell, and he didn't want the shell to mean nothing. He didn't want to just use it all willy nilly, because then it'll probably be like a boy who cried wolf type situation. At some point, people would just stop gathering, I guess. Which at the end didn't really matter because he he kind of lost his leadership to.
This book goes hard, dude.
Mm.
Hard.
Went to it too. Do you remember they Ralph? No, not Ralph. Uh, the like choir group people when they finally formed their own little thing, right? They broke off from Ralph's group.
Yeah.
They finally killed the pig, and then Simon found the pig head with like flies, and
Oh yeah, and like Lord of Flies, they put
yeah,
that up
that
there.
was more. It's like see, you said the thing, you said the name of the book in the book,
Hmm.
and yeah, he had a weird like talk to it, and the Lord of the Flies cursed him.
Yeah, him and Simon. Well, Simon was having a dialogue with himself.
hmm
Him slowly going insane there.
And it came true. He did like I think the next chapter he died. So.
Yeah, they kind of just diced him. I mean,
hmm and then they tried to steal their ability to make fire with the one dude's glasses because that was
Oh
the only
yeah,
way.
Piggy.
Yeah, it was the only way to make fire. They didn't know any other way except to use the sunlight to start a fire.
Dude, for using the sunlight's pretty good. So
So they didn't have like, mm, I guess not. I guess it probably went down with the plane. They never found the plane. Like I would imagine did it crash in the
I
ocean?
don't remember if they found the plane or
Well,
not.
it couldn't have crashed in the ocean because then they would have been in the ocean, right? Imagine it has to be on the island somewhere. I don't think the island is that big. I feel like they kind of made a point of trying to explain the scale of the island at the very beginning. Well, towards the beginning, when they went on their little trek and they went to the highest point or whatever, or a very high point to confirm it's an island. Because if an island's if a like a peninsula or something is big enough, it would look like an island from the end. you know. Yeah, I can't believe they just didn't try harder to find the plane. Because I feel like they would have had some supplies. Because somehow they all just
Mhm.
woke up with just the clothes on their backs. I feel like if they were going somewhere, they would have stuff with them. So it's where they didn't. This was a long time ago, though.
This book is well written. I may have to go read it again and like go more in depth into what actually happens at a later time.
So
Like
I
I feel like I want to
imagine,
do the same with Candide as well.
how far do you think plane technology was in the whatever it was,
50s. They were still.
50s?
There was not. I mean, they're not as far as we are now, obviously.
So I feel
There
like
was.
now,
That would
if
be like warplane era, though. You know what I'm saying? Like you're getting like the beginning of the warplanes.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
It's like it's not that bad. But I'm thinking like propeller planes. They're still able to drop bombs.
Hmm.
Uh, like we had like kamikazes there at that point. Yeah, like a good amount over there.
Yeah.
There's good tech there. There's good tech.
What
They weren't
was,
breaking sound barrier, but I mean,
and not quite.
it's still good tech though. I mean, like Charles Lindbergh, I'm pretty sure around that time.
Did, did they eat each other?
You know, I think Simon may have been cannibalized.
Yeah.
They may not have said it outright, but I mean,
Do you remember in The Executioner when we had the cannibals? I didn't like that. That was my least favorite part of the book. I wanted to read it very quickly so I can get it over with. It's like if it was a YouTube video, I would be tapping the right side of the screen, you
oh yeah,
know?
and you're yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what I would do.
I remember reading again. Zombie was just a weird journey for me. I can go back to that real quick.
Sure, man.
Just like what was I reading when I got to Zombie Bride?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Wasn't
Again,
Zombie Ride
swimming
was
in the pool of blood. The brain chunks are in there. The clown and her are having a fun time, and I'm like, what is happening? What is what is this book series?
Can you look up real quick if is he like on a new series yet?
Darren
Because
Shan.
because at the time of us trying to go through Zombie, that was the newest one. He wasn't finished with them, but now he's finished with Zombie. So I want to see if he started a new one because that'd be kind of cool. Wonder if people. I mean, people had to like Zombie. He made like
Archibald Locks. What is this?
Zombie for people who didn't know is a series about zombies, right? And Ray brings it up because it is written by Darren Shan, the same man who wrote The Executioner, which we reviewed a few weeks ago. So go check that out if you haven't. Very good book.
It's a free book on Kindle. Are you kidding me?
Darren Shan's going downhill, Ray. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. he peaked with Demonata.
Demonata is, like, so good. It's actually kinda stupid how
It's
good Demonata is.
it's
Like,
ridiculous.
Demonata is, like okay, like, we're talking again, like, so real quick, we'll cover this, okay? Because every
Okay.
time it gets brought up, I think I have to go over it. Like, Thin Executioner is, like, literally his best one-off book, which is,
Mhm.
like, super good because Thin Executioner has no right to be that good for, like,
Yeah,
the size of the book
100%.
and, like, what he puts into it. Has no right being that good. Demonata, on the other hand, is like him saying, "You know what? If I made a really good series, this would be it. Everything you could possibly need for ratcheting up certain storylines, having characters meet together, having the weird, like, time loops and all that stuff work
Mhm.
and have it, like, all make sense is great in Demonata. A complex storyline that just makes sense with the way the characters are, they're not feeling, like, out of place whenever they do certain things, you feel like their motivations are in the right area. And then the twist at the end of Demonata, it's ooh,
It's real good.
like, every Demonata book has a little twist at the end, but the big, big twist at the end of Demonata was, like,
Mhm.
righteous. I'm convinced Aaron
So
Shan can write if he wants.
so Ray, how do you feel about Lord of the Flies? What's your
See,
you
the
said you
seal of
wanted to read it
approval.
again.
I gotta go back through it, like,
Yeah.
just so I can grab more stuff from it, because I read it once, I looked up stuff online, and I was like, well, this makes like sort of sense. I'm like piecing stuff together in my head. I'm like, okay, they're pointing these things out, and I'm like, I want to go through another time, and this time like do a little more deep dive into it for my personal self.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the reason why it's regarded as a classic, right? Is because I mean, it was made a while ago, so of course people have learned from it and iterated on it and stuff, but um at the time it had so much symbolism, so much meaning, even it was like the, you know, kind of taking what other books have done and turning it on its head, right? Um with the few things that I read as well, it was just pointing out a bunch of like, oh, here's what this actually means, and here's why this character did this, and it's crazy because you would never thought of it unless you've read the book a few times over, you know?
It's like you understand like more and more. It makes sense to me like why certain characters do things, and like like I just think the choir in general, the idea of the choir is like they're supposed to be like evil, quote unquote, but not like truly evil.
Yeah.
They're like more into their dark side, but then as things go on, they embrace it further and further, and that caused the escalation of the situation to go downhill, and then like
I mean, the leader of that, the choir,
yeah, Jack.
he was wilding from the very beginning, you know. He was very upset and jealous that Ralph got the
Picked, yeah.
leadership, and then
Mhm.
Ralph, to kind of make him happy, he was like, "Well, you can lead the choir, you know, you can be like my lieutenant and you control them." And then that kind of made him happy. But it was even the one, I don't know.
His
s-
want to lead is like what really like pushed him,
Yeah.
you know, more and more to the edge. Where,
There was a
where
point in the book where I thought, and I'm pretty sure it said it, like Ralph was thinking this as well, but there was like tension between them, and there was like a good 3 chapters. Well, the chapters in this book are kind of long, so there's probably like 1 or 2 chapters where I thought that Jack was gonna try to kill Ralph, like on one of their many quests into the woods alone, which they
Mhm.
did way too often for my liking. I thought he was gonna kill Ralph.
I will say like at that point it was pretty obvious that if Jack killed Ralph, it's gonna be like well then Jack killed Ralph.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But, like, he just wouldn't care. He'd be like, "No, he sucked as a leader. We haven't gotten anywhere up until this point," which they haven't. I mean, there was no point in the book where they were like, "Oh, we're winning. Like, we're on the right track. We're doing everything right."
the closest they were was at the very beginning of the book.
Yeah, where it's like, "Oh, we're all together and we're all kind of nice to each other." Except for Piggy. They were just so mean to him. It's like
Not
he was
having to be something. Piggy was like I identified with Piggy a lot.
yeah. He was trying to help
Like
everyone out, learn everyone's names, doing his best. He had the fire glasses. I mean, come on. He was pure support. Just messing with him, you know?
crushed by a boulder.
You hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
Um, so yeah,
Seal of
man,
approval. It's a straight seal right there, dude.
it's good. Um,
I realize it's gonna be our big week though. So, what do you want to replace it with?
I would like to do.
Because I know this is one we both have not done, so that's why we
Yeah.
did it.
I would like to do another one we haven't done, but from a different category, Ray. I would
Ooh,
like to do well, I mean, unless you've read it, but I feel like if you've read it, you would have told me you've read it, or maybe you did tell me, but I forgot, because that's that's very possible. You know what I mean?
it's possible. Yeah, it's very much possible.
Um, I want to start the Avatar comics.
The Promise I've read.
Promise.
I don't think I've read all of them. I think I've read them so long ago though. Like
Yeah.
I remember some small details. I'll be fine rereading them though.
So yeah, we got the Promise, um, and yeah, it's for everyone out there, right, who doesn't know Avatar: Last Airbender. I
One
said
of the
it kind
great
of weird.
animated films or animated series of all time.
Yeah. One of the best. I think all 3 seasons, which, Rotten Tomatoes isn't, like, the end all be all for what's good and what's bad, but,
I think Rotten
um,
Tomatoes sometimes gets it wrong.
yeah, yeah,
Not all the time. They sometimes do. They're
but,
mostly they're mostly set in stone. To be honest, I do
all
disagree with them over stuff.
all 3 seasons of Avatar have 100%, which is
Also, I will
crazy,
say,
you know?
off topic, I have completed all of the boys.
You have caught up because it's not
100%.
it's not all the way out.
Yeah, no, season two is not all the way done, so I've caught
What's,
up with all of season two right now.
7 is out, right?
Is it out? I haven't seen seven. Then I've seen six.
I haven't seen 7 either, but I thought I don't really know when the episodes come out, I just kinda check every so often and see if there's episodes I haven't watched yet, but yeah, I've seen 6.
Are we doing all of the promise or just one?
Um, I'd say all of it,
Okay,
'cause I think altogether it's like 250 pages.
okay. The promise full. So
'Cause it's broken up into 'cause I saw it, it's broken into, like, 3 parts, but I think each one is, like, 70 or 80 pages.
it's not that bad, Comics,
And it's
it's
also
like
a
a
comic, so, like,
yeah.
one
The words
comic
are less,
page.
a lot of picture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like manga.
Uh,
Got some. Speaking of manga, I mean like Beastars is gonna be ending soon.
2nd season Beastars got announced.
Yeah, Beastars is ending soon for the manga, which is disappointing because the arc we're ending on is kind of garbage.
Oh,
I
really?
kind of wanted to go on for like two more arcs at least.
Maybe it'll pick up in the end. I mean, it's the whole end of the whole thing, I imagine they would want to, you know? No, it's just gonna
It's not gonna pick up like anything much. It's gonna pick up like very little if it does pick up at all. It's gonna
mm.
be kind of sad. But Beastars, I will say the second season or third season, whichever one it's gonna be. I think the second season is gonna be the best season. So
I mean, I'm happy with that. I loved the 1st season of Beastars, I thought it was really good.
I think Beastars season two is gonna be great. So probably better than season one. But obviously you need season one to watch season two to cry, Corey.
So, yeah, and then the Avatar comics take place after the show.
Yeah, so
So
it's the
there's kind of
promise. There's the promise, and then there's the what else? There's the promise and
like the 2 towers and then,
Return to King.
Return of the King. Yeah, I don't remember what they're called, but yeah, I think there's 3 series. There's, like, The
Okay, let me.
Promise and then maybe
Yeah,
2 other ones.
so this is gonna go in
Yeah,
general. I'm lazy.
for everyone out
Let's.
there that was like,
Uh,
"Oh, yeah, that was that, okay." For everyone out there, including me, and I'm sure Ray as well, that was like, "Man, I wish they would've kept going with the show," or at least when they came out with another show that wasn't Korra, even though Korra was good, I feel like it was underappreciated at the time. Um, I was one of those people that I would've loved to see them as, like, adults, the gang as adults, what they're doing,
there's a
so
lot of them. There's the promise, the search, the rift, smoke and shadow, north and south.
oh, there's a
Then they're
lot.
come out with another one. They have an imbalance, Qatar and the Pirate Silver, Toph Beifong's Metal Bending Academy. A lot of stuff planned here. But the search was the other one I was talking about. Can't
The
believe there's
Search.
other ones. I'll look into this later.
There's also, Kyoshi Chronicles or
Kyoshi.
something.
Yeah, hey, look at that sick page.
Yeah. So, yeah,
What's the rift, dude?
so much new knowledge.
I gotta go into this, dude. This looks dope.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
man.
they're all like after Avatar. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
they're all in chronological order. So we'll just go through them. Oh, we can add these on the list later. I'm saying, okay. Hey,
So, yeah,
what were you
man.
saying?
No, just the promise. Make sure to read it. I mean, you, but the listeners as well.
I'll read the
Uh,
promise, dude. I already read the promise before. I just have to remember.
yeah, yeah. And then we could talk because
Mm,
big Avatar fans. So I mean, we talked about Avatar on the show before, not like officially, but like you know what I
favorite
mean.
Avatar character, go.
Oh, Appa. I don't know.
I like
Probably
Iroh.
Toph.
Oh, yeah. Iroh's my favorite dude. Always drinking tea.
Oh, Iroh. Yeah, I forgot Iroh. Duh. Now I'm sitting here trying to think
Anyone
of
who doesn't
other.
say Momo, leave now. I mean, hold up.
Dude, no, the best character in the show is the cabbage guy.
He's pretty good, yeah.
He's pretty.
A
He's
a lot of characters in Avatar are good. You see, I can't give like flack for like certain characters because they just have like that type of like even Zhao. I can't even give you hate for liking Zhao. He's just good.
I was trying to think of a meme I saw the other day, but I can't remember. It had something to do with Zuko and like someone someone like giving him honor or something, and then him like being like real like Gollumish about it, like oh yes, my honor. I don't remember it, man. So yeah, Ray, we're doing Avatar. All the James Cameron films as soon as they
All
come
of them.
out. So make sure to read that. Yeah, I think it's I didn't read all. I didn't actually see all of it, but yeah, I think it's like 250, so it's not bad. Hopefully, there's a lot of good stuff. Ray's already read it, but he doesn't remember
Yeah.
a lot of it, I guess.
It
So
feels like the promise and the search to me are kind of like meshed together in my head,
sure,
like
yeah,
both of them,
mm.
because they're interrelated. So
Yeah. I'm excited to read it to see what they got in store after. Because yeah, there was still they ended the show nicely, but there's still a few lingering questions. Like there's some stuff you gotta answer. I'm not saying they're gonna answer it in the promise, because obviously there's like 17 novels apparently, but just to see what they do.
of course,
So yeah, read that and watch tomorrow's episode. You know what I mean? I don't know what tomorrow's episode is gonna be, but it's probably gonna be good, guys. Okay. And if it's not good, blame Ray, because if it's good, it's me. But if it's if it's bad, it was Ray.